Okay, so we are continuing and concluding today this letter 11, a very, very powerful letter of the Alter Rebbe, saying that if we look around us and we recognize it's all God, it's all good, it's coming from an enormously high level of God's energy, which is all positive, then everything in my life is just goodness. Everything in my life is just joy that I'm constantly receiving and being revitalized by God's goodness and graciousness and such an intense level of God that's even higher than the Garden of Eden. It's the Eden from which flows the garden. So continuing, therefore, if one thinks about this deeply, they're going to be in such joy constantly. The joy is coming from what? From our belief in God. That's constantly revitalizing me every second. So if a person's sad, if a person's complaining, if a person feels that he has something bad going on in his life, if a person even feels he's just lacking in something good in his life, this is someone who's denying God, God forbid. Which is why the Kabbalistic sages so warned against sadness. In other words, sadness is implying it's not God. Because it's all God, and God's only good, it's all good. So if I have on any level an expression that something in my life is not good, something in my life is painful, something in my life is negative, then am I saying God's negative, or am I saying, more likely, it's not God? That's denial of God. And that's why sadness is such a severe crime, though not listed in the list. But if someone truly believes in God, no matter what happens in his life, no matter what seeming affliction he's suffering, it's all going to be the same to him. It's all, he can accept all with the same equanimity, with the same sense of it's God, it's good. And if one doesn't act this way, it shows he's like one of the mixed multitude. In other words, when the Jews left Egypt, there was a group of non-Jews, Egyptian and other nations, that came to Moses and says, we want to join the Jews, meaning we want to go on your bandwagon. We want to be part of the winning team. So when they converted, they didn't convert out of love for God. They converted out of love for themselves and a desire to do something that helps themselves. If a person looks at his life and when things don't seem good, he feels upset, they're saying you're just like this mixed multitude, that you're just thinking about yourself. And therefore, actually, in truth, you just want to be like the non-Jews. You just want a physical life of pleasure for yourself on all levels. What's good for you, what's comfortable for you, what's easy for you. Well, that's not what you were created for. Why was man created? In essence, to be tested with this test. Meaning, no matter what happens in our life, are we going to accept it all as God? Are we going to accept it all as good? Because it's Him, and He is only good. And if one feels differently, it's as if they're serving idols. The idols here are the pleasures of your body. But that's what you're serving. That's what you want. But if a person wants real life from God, even though maybe this is an aspiration that seems almost beyond us, but if such a person is going to be focused on his belief that it's all God, and everything that's happening in his life is coming from God to the smallest detail. It's all God's planning to the most precise, minute aspect. So everything is good. Might not seem good, but everything is good. And if one lives with this belief, everything truly is exposed as what it is, which is good. Because that was the point. It was a test. When he views it as good, he's passing the test. And then it's uncovered for what it truly is. Good in a way now that can be perceived and tangible as a good that it truly always is. And now one can benefit from that good in a revealed way.